Hey guys, and welcome to the first episode of Hassan Talks, where we talk about journeys from all walks of life. Today I'm joined by my brother from another mother, Yaman Idlbi from Syria. Hi Yaman,
Hi
how are you?
Hassan, I'm good, and you?
Great. So, thank you for joining me today on the. Are you late or something?
Yes.
So, thank you for joining me today on Hassan Talks. Today's a special episode. It's an episode where I talk about someone very dear to me, a brother from another mother. Yaman, we've known each other for a very long time, and we've started a business together, something that is a family business today, and somehow got through it. And 4 years later, here we are. Known you for a very long time, but I really wanted to share your story with the listeners today, and tell them. And tell them about the experiences of your life, the hardship that you've gone through, and how you got to where you are today. Something that really bonded us together was toys.
Yeah.
And it's something that is a staple to our life. A nice saying goes around the market, and I'm sure you know it and you've been saying it. Once you're in toys,
You
you
never
never go,
out.
you never leave it. And I totally agree. I know a lot of people that are suffering in the toy business, but they can't leave. I know a lot of people that have succeeded a lot in the toy industry and they still are in it. And I totally believe in that saying. It really is true that once you're in toys, you never leave toys. Tell us about toys and why you decided to get into the toy industry.
So, I came from background which is not toys at all. I came from a textile background, which is surprising. When the first time they told me like I'm gonna work in toys, I was like surprised, like it's toy. I mean, I didn't study and spend a lot of money to study to work in toys. So I was. It's a small background about me. I came from a family where we are a textile family for I think 60, 70, 80 years of textile. And all my journey was a textile. Uh, because of the war in Syria, I moved to Dubai. And I came to Dubai only, it's for vacation purpose. And I stuck here in Dubai. So I remember so in Dubai you have a 3-month visa. Once it's finished, and that's it, you need to leave. So I still remember I got a call from a guy where he told me, "Yeah, man, come for interview." I told him I'm on my way to the airport, and he said, "No, no, just come." I said, "Like I'm on the way to the airport, so I'm not dressing to do an interview, and that's it." And he told me, "No, even though we are next to the airport, come have the interview, and no matter what you're wearing and how you look like." I said, "Like okay, let's go. For my flight 2 hours, it's fine. I can go." I went for the interview, and he told me after like 15 minutes, he told me, "Congratulations, you can travel now. We'll send you your visa." Like, but what kind of work? He said, "Toys." I said, like, "Toys?" At the end, like, I'm gonna work in toys. I was like, "Okay. I mean, it's the last chance. Let's try it." So I start from really bottom. I start like as a sales and marketing on that side, and so I came from background where I I believe that the old sales technique has been vanished, and it's boring for everyone. So I have a new techniques where I to sell you need a good marketing, and for good marketing you need to be a good salesperson. So I started after few weeks they called me back. They told me your visa is ready. You can come back. I was like okay, and I know nothing about toys. I was like 21 years old, and I know nothing about toys. Then I started, and I started like okay, I mean, for sure there's a mentor, and I think you know who he is. It's Abdul Qadir Solanji, and this guy, he's really a good mentor. Uh, in a few weeks, he did some training for me. I'm like, okay, it's interesting. Let's go creative with it. And then we start to have a creative ideas with the toys. Then first year, second year, I was like performing very well. And and that day when I met you, Hassan, you remember, before I left, I think that company 3 months. I met you, and we met you. I was like, okay, let's start the toy in your shop, and you selected me. Yaman, it's out of our scope of business and blah blah. So I was like, okay, let's try something collectible that can collect. And I remember we started with small figurines.
Bullyland, I remember, yes.
Bullyland. It was like small, nice stand with the small stuff, and it was selling very well. And we started to extend. Then I decided to leave the toy business because I was like, okay, I didn't study full year, I didn't study like to get just to toys. I like, okay, I left. I went to oil and gas.
Oil and gas.
Yeah.
So what happened to the saying, once you enter toys, you never leave toys?
So I'm gonna get back to that point. So 4 months exactly, I stayed in the oil and gas. I was operation manager for oil and gas company, and it's 4 months I didn't find myself, and I missed toys. So even I was with the oil and gas, I used to visit the toy shops. It's all the businesses that it's really routine work. You have this item and this brand, like you go to FMCG, like you go to Mars, you go to all these big company, they have the same SKUs every time, and there is no creativity behind it. That's it. It's boring. I was like, no, I need to go back. And I got another opportunity in another company. I was like, okay. I mean, in that days, I got so many offers to go back to toys company. I was saying no, no, no. After 4 months, I said, okay, I'm gonna go back. Then I went back to toy business. I succeed. Then suddenly, I left the toy business, but I was still attached to it, which is, so I want to explore everything in toys, in a kids or the children universe. So I went to a media. And I know nothing about media. I know nothing about licensing business and media. So I was hired by TV channel Space 2. It's one of the biggest in the Middle East, and I grew up with Space 2. So everyone was like, okay, I'm working Space 2. So, but when I went to the CEO, I told him I know nothing about licensing. Told me, don't worry. I mean, just stay with me. You will understand it. So I was like, first 2 weeks, I was lost. I don't know what to do. Licensing, I don't know the terms. People, they're saying some terms in front of me. I was like feeling a little bit shy, a little bit like, you feel, where am I? You're selling non-tangible stuff. So it's very difficult when you sell an item in your hand and at the same time, or you market something in your hand to something that's it's not existing. Like licensing is you're selling
you're selling air.
That's it. And even with media, you're selling air. You're not selling anything. You're selling just a minutes on the TV and a seconds on the TV. So everything was new. I was like, okay, it's a challenge for me, and now it's time to prove myself. I've never been loser in any company I joined, even if I don't know the business. So I still remember I went to Konokonia in Dubai Mall. If you remember the old Konokonia where...
Yeah, the one with the coffee shop.
Yes, where
I
Nike,
remember it was an experience, you walked into it.
It was beautiful.
Yeah,
It
I
was
missed that. The Nike store now.
The Nike
in
store
Dubai
now.
Mall, yeah.
It was beautiful. It was a huge one. And I remember it takes me like 4 hours to find what I'm looking for. And a book, say how to do licensing.
And you read it?
Yes, for the first time in my life.
Knowing you, Yaman, you don't read books.
I never read books.
Was it in Arabic or English?
It's in English. And I've never read books in my life. And it was a challenge for me. If I want to do it, I need to read the book. So I read the book, and then I started watching some YouTube about licensing and how to do licensing. It was different words for me. Like, okay, now I'm ready to do it. And surprisingly, I closed a huge deal for licensing. It's
amazing, Mabruk.
One of the biggest in the Middle East. And I still remember our company has joint venture between two companies, one in Copenhagen and one here. So I still remember when they put all the team together. And so we have a meeting, both offices in Dubai, so for 3 days. And I was the highest performer between all these offices in Copenhagen, Asia, and Middle East. I remember okay, but yeah, I love it because it's still related to toys. It's still something that's related to it. But I
It
want
brings
to,
the child out in you.
yes. So I want to know exactly how all the cycle of the toy business works. And I was happy, like, I performed with it. It was a nice experience, but still my love to the tangible toys is there. For sure, it's in your life, you will have so many mentors within your life, and so many people will take your hand to help you. And I think the biggest was when I was with Space Tune, they were very supportive. I mean, still they are family to me because I learned a lot. Learning is not always that's you take the guy and you tell him what to do and not to do, but sometimes giving them a confidence that you can do it without any support. They will tell you you can do it. Go do it by yourself. We will support you at the back. So yeah, I mean, support is not always tell me what to do, what not to do. Sometimes support is more. How we can
Give
say.
me the play field and let me go
Yeah.
play.
So I still remember the first project I want to do our own toy line, and I still remember I went to the CEO. I told him like, I'm ready. I want to do something, but I don't know how to start. And he told me, okay, go to Hong Kong. And I told him how many days. He said, you choose. I went to Hong Kong 15 days, and I know nothing. What I'm usually, I used to be a distributor. Like I get the brand here, I distribute it, and that's it. Sourcing for a new product was something, or a factory, something it's not easy. Especially I was like 24 years old, 25 years old, and it's like it's not something that I know. And I went to Hong Kong by myself, and I was like 15 days there. The first, so to the extent that I was not experienced, I didn't know that they have a public holiday for 4 days. And the first 4 days, I was doing nothing because it was public holiday there. I was sitting in the hotel doing nothing, doing some research online. But that days the online was not helping you. They don't have the ChatGPT that helps you how to go and how to navigate. They don't have the Google search engine was not the right one.
How long ago was this?
It's like around like now, let's say 10 years, no,
A
more than 10
decade
years. Like,
ago.
yeah, it's like 11 years almost. And we don't have this technology to navigate or to get the answer faster. I was like, okay, but I have to do it. So I started visiting all the offices there. And, in that day, Hong Kong was the hub of toys. Even the factories in China, they have their offices in Hong Kong. And then I went to exhibitions, so I started doing the research on factories till I got the best factories for the preschool line we do. And we did a brand called Abjad. But Abjad is in Arabic, so I know we are living in a international, multinational country like Dubai, like Qatar. So you have so much nationalities. A name Abjad will not help you to sell. So I was like, okay, let's get an idea how we will do the toy, but we're targeting more not only the Arabic customer, the full population in UAE. I came up with the idea to take a license for Sesame Street because it's a preschool line. It really can be with the Abjad, with the vision that we have. But at the same time, I said like I'm not gonna sell. It's a preschool line. It's a very difficult line. It's the time period of it. It's very less. So it's not a toy that you can play with it every day, because the child will improve faster. Like it's say 6 to 9 months, 9 to 12, 12 to 15. So it's always the age group plays because they're gonna play with it maybe 2-3 weeks, and it's not the choice of the kids. It's the choice of the mother or the dad. So Hassan very well. This is a very tricky category. So I was like, okay, we need to deliver a message with it. So I was thinking the team was very small. We were like 2-3 people only. I think actually we were 3. Me and the designer who was doing the product design and one girl, she was communicating between us and the factories. So I was like, okay, we need to deliver a message. Why you need to buy this toy? Usually in the shelf, people always they put anything. So by that time, I was like, okay, So I need to tell the mom why she need to buy each. So I have different items. Each item can develop the kids. I don't know how to say it, but the kids'
Mind.
mind. So each product that has connection with their eyes, with their feelings, with their
The senses that they have.
senses of the kids. So we highlighted this in this product, and it was very successful. And from here, I started to go back to the toy industry in a heavy way, because I mastered the licensing, I mastered the TV, I mastered the marketing. So only now what left for me is to go back to the toys, so the pure one. So now if I'm adding anything to the portfolio, I check all these aspects, 360 degree, and I make sure that the product meet all the aspects for success. For sure, Hassan, we work with unpredictable business. Working with kids is really unpredictable. Sometimes experience is nothing here. And you know very well what I mean here. Experience is zero.
So, what would be one misunderstanding in the toy industry that people might commonly have?
So, everyone in the business, I think, with my very small experience, I think experience is nothing in this business.
That's a bold statement.
Yes.
And why do you say that?
Because, as I told you, we are working with unpredictable business. We are all depending on the kids' behavior, and this has been changing a lot. It changed from month to month. The trend, like for example, let's say you launch a brand where you believe it meets all the success factor, and 100% is gonna do fantastic. And it's a car, it's collectible, it's
Swappable.
it's one of a kind, it's you did a huge marketing.
I know
TV.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, the eraser one. Marketing, everything, it took everything. Even when we met all the retailer, everyone were excited behind it. And we spent so much money on marketing because it took all the boxes that's going to be super successful. By the way, it was very successful in another country. It's like, but from country from geography to geography, it's different success factor or different behavior for kids. So we said like, okay, this is a winner for us. Unfortunately, it was the worst brand I've ever worked with. It's not because it's not good, because the dynamics change faster for kids. So
no matter who the king of collectibles or the king of toys is today, that can change overnight from your...
yes.
That's a
Yes.
very bold statement.
Yeah,
So
it's really
no matter if you're Hasbro, Mattel, Zuro, that can change overnight from your understanding.
overnight can change, and it's
And we've seen that. We've seen that as a testament with Pop Mart, right? Pop Mart today is one of the leading toy manufacturers.
and it's an art toy. It's not a proper toy, by the way. It's an art toy. So you never think that art toy will be that big, because we always say art toy is for niche market. And Pop Mart proved that it's not a niche market. So we know the changes of. So one of the factor that's T-Racer, for example, one brand that didn't work in boys category. Boys category is dead. It's completely dead. It's replaced by collectibles, and this statement has been changed after the COVID. Post-COVID, everything has changed in the toy industry. It's changed. Outdoor was performing very well because of the all these lockdowns and people, they were not going out, so
They became more introverted, yes.
Yes, it revived the COVID revived board games in our region. I know in different regions it's big, but for our regions is not that big. It's revived it, that's why boys category did, because kids were watching so much TV. They're playing so much on their PlayStation, and all days people just like, okay, once a week you can play with your PlayStation for their kids. During COVID, you cannot tell them once a week, because it's every day is the same routine for them. They are stuck at home, so they are attached to their PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and then they want to decorate their room with something. So that's why the collectible business has moved in the past 4 years. So in any box for collectible, it would say always plus 15. But literally, it's not plus 15.
Let's talk a little about kid adult. It's a term that's being used in the mass media today. Everyone's talking about kid adult this, kid adult that, and I'm sure that going from toys and to the kid adult industry wasn't something easy. That transition, but as you said, I mean, you were always a fan of Space Tune TV, where famous series such as Grandizer, Conan, Muhakkak Conan, Captain Majid, sorry, and that's Captain Shubasa in English, was broadcasting, and these are all amazing platforms. I mean, to show what kid adult is
It's
all
a nice
about.
coffee. Huh?
Thank you. So it's a great platform to show what kid adult is all about. You've entered the industry in the kid adult when you came to Jazeel. And when we started Jazeel, and we brought a category that was not known here at all. I mean, it was known in collector stores, very limited niche stores. But when it came to the mass, people don't know anime.
Not at all.
So what did you do to bring that to life?
So I always say that at the beginning was very difficult, honestly, to convince all the retailers to have a collectible section in their shop.
And I also remember convincing you was one of the most difficult things I had to do.
It's not difficult. It was not difficult. It's just like time to digest it in my mind because I have something. If I don't like something, don't like to work with it. It's regardless because I know my creativity will not come with it. I know that I'm gonna be unfair for the brand that I'm gonna work in unless I know. And that day, like we were working, me and you, very hard on little things to grow little things in the region. And you remember we did so much event outside because I was interacting with the real buyers of collectible, and I know what does it mean for them. So coming from background of a purely toys to collectible was not an easy step, but because I don't communicate with those kind of customers, you communicate, so you know exactly the needs of it. But it was niche, and always I believed it was niche till I really okay, it's time to take it from niche
To
mass. And but I always believe on and this is always my thought or my thinking. If always I need to have the wow effect. If I want to go small or I want to be like when I just put it on the shelf, I would rather stay at home. Because if you don't highlight it, it will not catch any customer eyes. So you know me very well when I do when anything that we want to merchandise, I always look into small details because I always tell them, like I go to the team, don't keep gaps between products because we are by God creation. We always look at the weird look or anything that's abnormal. So our eyes always goes to the gaps. And I always tell the team, and that's when any training we make, I always tell the team, if your room is not messy and not tidy, you will not stand more than, either you want to sleep direct or you want to run away from your room. But if your room is tidy and clean, you will stay. Believe me, you will stay. You'll put your coffee, you'll put your drinks, and you will watch something. It was like, you feel like more comfortable on it. And the same for customer when they come to the store. If they see the store is messy, so much colors, so much, uneven, even in the product, like, they put one big, one small one. They really get, so the eyes give a sign to your mind that's please go. It's distracting their feeling. And they want to go out. So that's why I always tell the team, if you want to make your store nice, people will spend more time. And it's not people by choice, by the way. By force, the mind will give, the eyes will give to the mind that's please go out.
It's all connected.
I'm not comfortable. I'm not feeling well here. So that's why always we tell the team, make your store look perfect. And that's why when we went to the collectibles, I was like, okay, we need to make it perfect. We need to make the wow effect. For sure, we make a lot of mistakes, and we learn from it, from the first project to the second, to the third, to the fourth, and we know how, because as I told you, again, even collectible is unpredictable because you don't know which IP will gonna hit. Sometimes you get stuck for one IP and you feel like it's gonna do wow, and then suddenly nothing. But suddenly after one year of sleeping, this IP will be one of your best. So again, it's unpredictable because it's all about the feeling. Collectible is not something that's you just put it on the shelf. It brings feelings. It brings people when they want to buy the character by itself because it gives them a special feeling while they are watching the enemy. So that's why it's if you don't treat their character well, they will not buy it. So as long as so it's a puzzle. The IP owners work very well on their enemy to make it very nice, attractive for people. They want people to watch. Manufacturer, they work so hard to make each and every details of the product
Stand out, yes.
stand out. So now it's our job to make it stand out on the shelf.
The last mile.
Yeah, unfortunately, some people they take a brand, they throw it on the shelf, but it's underestimating the work that has been done from the IP, from the manufacturer, and because us as a distributor here, uh, we don't really focus on it. We underestimate whatever hard work those people they have done. So that's why I don't believe on this. I have something, but I will rather keep it, not disclose it, and who we are as a Jazeen, because I don't want people to use the same technique that we are using. So I would rather keep it secret.
From dressing people up in Syria and dressing them to impress, all the way 15 years later, bringing a toy called Dress to Impress and killing the market with it, with how amazing the sellout of it is. How do you feel about yourself, and how do you feel about taking the concept of what you started with, dressing people and to dressing them to impress people in Syria, bringing that concept to the Middle East, bringing a toy into the market that's called Dress to Impress, and creating a huge, how do I say this? A huge earthquake when it comes to it, and making a bold statement of who Jazeel is and who Yaman Idlbi is.
So just to go back, I think it's related to the thing that you're saying. So I still remember I was 15 years old. I like to do shopping for clothing. So I'm a guy who's really into buying. I mean, when I was young, but not now anymore. When I was 15 years old, I told my dad, I'm gonna open my own business. He told me, go open by yourself. But he told me, you like to buy a lot of clothes, blah blah. So go to Istanbul. I still remember. He gave me amount of money. He rented for me.
How much was it?
It's around $20,000.
Wow, nice.
And I'm not like Donald Trump with $1 million only. I was poor with $1 million. So Donald Trump was poor, but $1 million. He started his business. So I still remember he told me, you can do it. I was like, oh, I don't need your help. I can do it. I'm strong, because the ego when you are young, it plays with you because you are doing all the business with your father. You're 15 years old. You're managing the business with him. I'm like, okay, without your help, I can be my own business. So he said, okay. He took for me the shop. He gave me the money and told me go to Istanbul. Istanbul that day, I'm telling you about, this is 2000, I think 5. And Istanbul was not safe that day. A lot of people, they got robbed on the way. So I was like, okay, it's the first time I'm going alone, traveling alone. I still remember I traveled by road to Gaziantep, to a city next to my city, and then I took a flight from Gaziantep to Istanbul.
And all this alone?
Alone. I have one guy with me. He's older than me, but he was going for his own trip. I was going for my own. He doesn't know anything about the fashion that I'm gonna buy. He's a guy with only suits and ties and very formal fashion. I was like, okay. Then I went to Istanbul. I was like, first 2 days, I was like, okay, I don't know from where to buy. I don't know where's the wholesale people. I know only the touristic area where you cannot buy from them because it's very expensive. And I start to buy because I don't want to fail. I start to buy from people who's like on the street. They're putting on the street some jeans, some t-shirts. I'm like, okay, but this is not the right move because it's still expensive. You're not from the wholesale. So I was thinking like, if these people they can buy for their street tables, I can find them. But the first, second, third day, my dad called me. He said, "What happened to you?" I said, "I'm okay." I said, that's any day you spend extra, it's from your capital. You're taking from your capital. You're taking from your expenses. So you're adding more money to your cost. I said, give me one day. I will give you good news. Fourth day, nothing. Believe me, nothing. I couldn't do anything. I don't know from where. I don't speak the language. They don't speak English. And I didn't speak English that day. I was very poor in English. And still, by the way, I'm trying to improve it.
No, your English is great.
I lost it in Dubai. So I was like, okay. Then the fourth day, I called him. I said, I give up. He said, you give up? Yes. He told me, okay, just stay in the hotel. Somebody will come pick you up. I still remember that a car came, the Mercedes, the Vano one, came and then took me. Took me to the Syrian, Turkish trade chamber president there. Told me, what do you want? I said, this is my idea. That's what I'm going to open in Syria, blah, blah. Told me, consider it done. He told me, guy, in one day, I finish everything. I bought for the full shop. It was very successful. Without his help, regardless how you think your ego will, and that was very big lesson for me. Your ego is nothing. Even if you are 50, 60 years old, you still learn. And that's given me a big lesson to learn. So it was very successful in Syria. I did very good because of the connection I have. Then suddenly everything changed. I went back to textile with my dad. But that's what takes you to Dress to Impress. And that day, when I saw the brand at first, I was like, okay, it's something for girls. It's something creative. And me, you, Hassan, if you don't believe in something that's going to add value.
And that was a no-brainer.
No-brainer, because it's not a game that's people, we really take care of the kids in our culture. Our culture doesn't help us because I don't want the kids to be spoiled by the thing that we don't believe on. And we have so many characters from the enemy. We delist from our company because it goes against our
values. So for those listeners that don't know what Dress to Impress is, Dress to Impress is the #1 Roblox games for girls. Am I right, Yaman?
It's a #1
girls game yes.
of all the time.
Yes. And the storyboard behind the game is there's 100 girls in a room.
Yeah, it's a room and with a judge. They want to wear and they want to go and show what they have done. It's all about creativity and how creative you are. It's not something that's silly or something. You need to use your creativity. It takes the kids in the world that's creativity. They have to do something. It's not something silly that they want to, like, for example, like Minecraft. Not Minecraft, sorry. What was the name of the game?
Hulk Roots?
No. The one they kill. That's
Grand Theft Auto?
No. This is, I'm against it 100%. But there is a one game that the kids all play. Oh, it's very famous. It's slipped on my eye. We have a product for it before. And you have overstock.
Fortnite,
sorry. So Fortnite, it's something that...
Say it's not like Fortnite.
It's not like Fortnite. Fortnite is just... The kids they use no creativity on it. They don't use their brain that as much as they just want to Okay, the only good thing about it is just to be a number one and to kill everyone. So
So I can
I'm
see the passion in what you do. Have you ever played that game when it
Fort-
comes to Dress to
Fortnite.
Impress?
I tried, but it's not my creativity. So my creativity doesn't go into dressing, but the
Actually,
kids, the girls,
hearing your history, I think it does.
I know, but it's not the girls one. So
So you
I
only
don't,
dress guys.
I'm dressing guys. I don't know how the fashion of girls works.
Uh,
So, but I check the cousins behind me, and you know how many cousins I have, Hassan. So
yeah, I know you're surrounded by girls.
it's a huge family we have. So
Are you the only guy that's around
no,
all
no,
those
but I
girls?
mean in general, Hassan, you know that I have so many cousins, right?
Yes,
And you're always surprised when I tell you I'm going for my cousins. Like, okay,
I
you
know
went
them all by
yesterday.
name.
And so now you know them by name, and they know you by name. Even my barber, he knows you. Last time he was very angry. He told me like, "It's again Hassan, again Hassan. I want to work." So
So how do you stay ground?
Cut.
Cut. So how do you stay grounded when it comes to achieving your big dream? Cut. So how do you stay grounded when you want to achieve your big dream in life? I mean, you have so much ambitions, you have so much opportunities that come in front of you, and you have so much abilities to do so much different things with your creativity. How do you stay grounded in all this and then connect back to yourself and your inner self?
I think it's always. I mean, we learned. I think it's culture wise. I mean, never look up so much. I mean, it's always you make your head steady, and for sure, if you have any target you wanna see it, you cannot say it like this, right, Hassan? You cannot see your target while your head is up.
Yes,
You can see
absolutely.
your target only when you
When
look
you're
straight.
looking straight, yes.
So when you go up and you feel like snow passion, like doing like this, so for sure you're gonna fail because you will not see the
Absolutely.
stairs.
You're
So it's
absolutely
always
right.
your target is it's straight in front of you, not above, not down.
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم.
الصراط المستقيم. So you went to another level. But I mean, really, and we have so much to learn. We have so much. We're still young. You're still young. I'm still kind of young.
We're
But
always young in heart when we're in the toy industry.
so I'm always like, there's so much to learn. And I learned that from my dad. I mean, even when I was like 65 years old or 70, like he was sitting next to me and learning something from us as a young generation, what we are doing, and I was like surprising. Well, I still remember I went to my dad like, you have so much. Why you looking at me? What I'm doing? And he told me like, I keep learning because it's a new generation. You think they learn, and that's what's gonna happen. We're still learning, and I think we just started. I always say we started just yesterday. So there's always a nice tomorrow. I mean, we fail so much. We had so much. We make so much mistakes. But I think being ambitious with what we do, it will keep us steady. For sure, we have our ups and downs. Everyone has their ups and downs, but we learn from it. I mean, it's a scary what's happening in the world. But I mean, if we in any problem, there is opportunities. I always like when the COVID started, everyone were like, "Oh, it's in trouble." Blah. But I know there's an opportunity coming, and I knew it. Like I was not feeling down. I was not feeling upset. And the situation I went through during COVID, and everyone. It's not only me. It's everyone in the world. They went through it. It was very hard for me. It hit me. It hit me very bad. Yes, Christine. So it hit me very bad, but I kept standing because I know there is in each and every problem there is opportunity. I still remember 2008. Everyone was saying like real estate companies they will be collapsing. Real estate company they make the biggest money in 2008.
True.
Because they are an agent, right? So when the market is up, they sell. When market is down, they sell too because people they want to sell out. So there is always opportunity.
It's about finding the right opportunity at the right time.
Even if it's a problem, there is an opportunity in each problem. So most of the people they make their big money. It's from 2008 till 2011 during the crisis. COVID made the same, made people more money. from 2020 till 2022, it was the biggest business I've ever made for each and every industry. So I think I always say there's opportunity. That's why keep steady, focus in your goals. Your goals always straight, is not up, it's not down.
Stay humble, have opportunities all around
100%.
you, and always remember, always stay humble, stay focused, and remember to believe in God. Have the strength. No, that's a bad way to.
Yeah, it's too much.
Okay.
By the way, podcast, you shouldn't cut anything. You know,
That's well said, I think. Oh, sorry. That's well said, and I totally agree. Staying humble and staying efficient and seeing right in front of you what you have and redirecting towards the focus of what you believe is the right path at that time, given the scenario and given the situation around you, is keen to the success of anybody. And such an inspiring story. I'm listening to the last few decades of your life and everything you've achieved. It's not easy, of course. And I can say this proudly. We've built a lot of things together. We broke a lot of things together and we rebuilt it over and over again. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I think we've done it amazingly. We have so much more years ahead of us. And I believe there's unlimited opportunities in front of us.
And Hassan, it's not a 5 years, it's a 15 years now.
Yeah, knowing you for 15 years, absolutely.
15 years, and we travel a lot. Even we were not working together.
True.
We travel a lot to
I remember
Hong Kong,
those days in Hong
Melbourne.
Kong, Yaman. I
In
do.
Hong
I
Kong,
do.
We used to go. I tell you, Hassan, let's go here. So when I used to meet someone, I was like, Hassan, I met that one. Go meet them. It's the
I
nice
remember.
company.
I remember.
We used to share so many. By the way, with no beneficial. Any benefits for both of us. Like we were just doing pure-hearted one. It's like, you call me, take some advice. I call you, I take some advice. Like it was just. It's very difficult nowadays to find people who help with no, or be by your side with no
added benefits.
Added benefits to
I
the
agree.
relation. And it was really, that's why it was successful, and that's why you are successful too, because you always help people with no return. You don't think what's gonna return for you. And the same for me. I'm like, okay, I mean, anyone need an advice, you're more than welcome. Because once you give an advice to someone, for sure, when you need them,
They're there for you.
They're for you, and somebody will come give you an advice. Because, as I told you, it's not a steady life that we are living in. It's not, you see, with all this happening around the world and crisis and everything, it's still not steady. It's still like you feel like, you're lost somewhere where you need some help. And anyone can help you, but you need to find the right person to give you the right advice. Because some people, they give you advice, but that's going to be against you. So I keep myself surrounded with good people as much as I can. I mean, the most important is your work and your family. And that's what I believe in.
Perfect. Thank you so much for those wonderful words of advice. I'm sure that the listeners took a lot away from this conversation. If you'd like to follow Yaman, I believe they can find you on LinkedIn. Yaman Idlbi, that's YamanIdlbi.
Oh, that's
correct. I got it right. Great.
100%.
On LinkedIn and on Instagram, if they would like to follow you on Instagram. I know you're a bit private on Instagram, but if you do, Yaman would surely, hopefully accept you. Thank you for joining me on the first episode of Hassan Talks. As always, keep going and keep growing. Adios.